Thank you, Mr Mayor. I feel that Sunderland stands at a bit of a crossroads here, because the Conservative motion before us today calling for a crime emergency responds to what I think, certainly yourself, with being a member for Barnes Park, would see as an escalation of all these different sorts of criminal behaviour: drug dealing, antisocial behaviour, speeding, just to name a few of the issues that undermine our city's safety and pride. These are not isolated incidents. It's a crisis that requires a bold and punitive response. Now, as a city centre ward councillor for St Michael's, I'm well aware of issues of drug dealing and graffiti that occur usually around hotspot areas in the quite urban core, but it's starting to go well beyond that, to the far more sort of quiet suburban residential areas. And the smell of the stench of weed has just become, it's basically everywhere. I recall on Monday when Councillor Mullen and I were in Barnes Park at about 11 a.m. with the BBC, we just got a strong whiff of cannabis in front of families. This was the middle of the day, and I counted there was 10 council staff members, because there's the depot in Barnes Park, as I'm sure you're aware, Mr Mayor, and I will be quite curious, and hopefully the community trigger will bring this through with the panel, how many of those members of staff, because they must have smelt it, actually reported that behaviour, and did they do anything about it? There's a sort of cultural shift that I think we all need to take responsibility for to be able to address this. Antisocial behaviour is appallingly common, with women being harassed in the town centre, older people afraid to walk the streets, and community assets being destroyed or vandalised, trees ripped out, bins set on fire, benches smashed up, and everything graffitied. And of course we come on to speeding, an area that the council has been handicapped to do anything for years, and I make the point here that that was not necessarily through the council's own doing, but we need to move ahead with this. Speed cameras not working have meant we have been limited to vehicle-activated signs to try to tackle speeding, which means in our attempts to deal with boy races, we've literally resorted to an electronic frowny face. That's all that we could do in some cases. We need to do more. When the Road Safety Partnership is finally up and running, we need to move at pace to replace the old cameras that don't work and get brand new ones in place. Our motion also makes clear that we need a far more punitive approach, acting as far as the law allows to punish offenders. Criminals need to actually fear the consequences of their actions in Sunderland. Many of us will have read the article in the Sunderland Echo the other day with a certain level of embarrassment, as fines given out by Sunderland Council for dog fouling paled in comparison to other neighbouring councils. Newcastle Council gives an average fine of £273 for dog fouling, whereas Sunderland only give an average of £54. Now, whilst it is within the police's powers to undertake criminal prosecutions, the powers we have as a council should be wielded far more harshly to those who lay waste to our streets and are punished. In order to ensure the continued safety and security of Sunderland, we really need to rethink how we tackle these things in Sunderland for a safer city. Now, there is a point to be emphasised in this motion as well, which is that we need the police to be more accountable and visible to local councillors. This is where the 7th bullet point of the motion is relevant, as we need a full council update and a review of their policing priorities, because honestly, I don't know what they are focusing on. Is it speeding, burglary, theft, antisocial behaviour? Because they're not doing anything about any of them. Other police forces are making dramatic moves to tackle these. In Cleveland Police, they're making a very visible show of crushing these off-road bikers, clamping down on it, and they've seen a reduction in numbers. Did I say crushing the bikers? Oh, thank you, Councillor Sped. Crushing the off-road bikes, not the bikers. Thank you. I almost got in trouble there. Now, something needs to be done to tackle this emergency, because we cannot be seen, as one resident told me when I was knocking on doors in Tunstall, to be a soft touch anymore. Thank you, Mr Mayor.